Have to splice. I tried to up the valve volume. Anyway, I'm going to stop talking to hear the bees. Look at these guys. They're huge. These big black bees. I have a lot of them. I have all kinds of bees here. Look at that guy. Where'd he go? Anyway, I'll move along. But no, I'm not concerned at all walking this close to these. I'm not going to bother them, and they're not going to bother me. They are otherwise occupied. Clematis is hanging in there. It's very hot for them, and they definitely don't like their roots being hot. So it's all in all hanging in. Hyssop, this is the new stuff that I put in this year. These last two are doing quite well. I lost the other two that are right next to it. They appeared to just dry up and die. I don't know why. I was watering heavily, but they do dry out pretty quickly. I've been really watering. But yeah, once they get established, I'm sure they'll be a lot more resilient. This hyssop, love this one. This one's on a soaker and seems to be much happier than the other one, so I need to change the watering on that. But I love this. Love that one. Bee balm, hanging in. And the two new ones I put in are doing well, but still no flowers, which is, I don't understand. More clematis that's never looked this good this late in the season, I suspect, because I don't really have any grasshoppers this year, and I think that's what has gotten to this in the past. But again, the heat is not kind to clematis. I did have a little butterfly weed coming up here, but the critters are absolutely desperate. We have no water. We've had virtually no moisture over the winter, and we've had no rain, despite we're well into our, monsoons, and we've had no rain. We're still holding out, hoping we get some. Here's the other hyssop that I want to change the watering on. Bee balm, we've had critter activity last night, but this is what they do. They just kind of come in and dig around. I suspect that might be skunk looking for grubs in there. I don't know. They're after moisture, and they'll eat anything they can to get moisture. We have rabbits, we have javelina, we have skunks, and we have deer. So here are 3 more of the butterfly weed. This one I just bought this year. It was a nice big bush, and they just eat it like right down to the ground. More bee balm, more hyssop. Something has been eating on this, which is unusual because nothing eats it. That one's staying healthy. They all looked like that last night, eating on this, just digging around. The sunflowers are doing, they're just gorgeous. I love them coming out. This was a blend of different kinds of sunflowers. I just think they're fabulous. And while we're out here, let me point out, one of these varieties does these big clusters of flowers, which is cool. The shade cloth is holding up very well, despite some really high winds. I think once we figured out to tie down the ends like this, there's nothing it can do. The wind just kind of flaps it around in there a little bit, but everything's holding up really well, which I'm glad. So we should be able to keep the shade cloth up for the whole season and just take it down once, which obviously it's a big job. Here's the grapes. The plant is beautiful, still no grapes. I suspect this may be a variety that only produces fruit every other year. Last year, when I had tons of grapes, I was going to enter them in the county fair. We have I can't remember what the term is, but a grape specialist here who's with our county extension. And I was hoping to find out what variety it is. I'm pretty sure it's a champagne of some kind. I did a bunch of researching last year. Anyhow, so there's that. Yeah, I wasn't able to get into the county fair because I broke my wrist and life changed significantly. There are the lavender. They're doing well. I don't want to get down on my knees and deadhead them, so that's what they are. Going in. Here's the sunflowers. Here's this sweet one to say hello as you walk in the garden. Here is the garden, just kind of an overview. It's fabulous. I love it. I love being out here. This shade makes it really comfortable, and so I enjoy puttering around. Gerber daisy, beautiful big giant red flower. Love it. This is the Rudbeckia gloriosa Hirscha that I planted from seed earlier. It's a relative of the black-eyed Susan, but to me they don't look anything like that, and it's looking to me like we're going to have flowers before too long, and I'm sure you'll see them. Cucumber plant that I started from seed that survived, so I stuck it in there and it's surviving. The peppers, they don't look great, but they're alive and they're doing okay. I don't know what's eating on them, but it's not causing a whole lot of damage, and I don't see anything. They're producing flowers, so see, should be seeing some peppers before too long. Yeah, the garden was a little bit late-ish going in because I just wasn't going to do a garden, as I've said, but springtime hit. I came out here and I saw all of these beds just waiting to be able to grow something. Marigolds that were volunteers all over, I just plucked them up and stuck them someplace where I'd rather have them. The zucchinis are doing spectacularly. Just for scale, these leaves are enormous, just enormous. And they're supposed to have those spots. That's what this variety is. And it is, these zucchinis are producing like crazy. There's one. I just came out here and harvested stuff last night, but there's another one ready to go. I have so far made 10 loaves of zucchini bread, which is very, very good. So my freezer is stuffed and it's gonna get more, but it's really nice to have that through the winter. Here's one of the cucumbers that the seed survived, so I stuck it over here, and then I went and found this trellis for it to grow up, and I jerry-rigged it. So this is a, did I say cucumber? It's a cantaloupe, another Gerber daisy. Okay, we'll swing around to the tick seed. I'm enjoying this. I normally don't really deadhead much, but it's so nice out here that I've been, and I'm enjoying the flowers. This is a native, so this should survive from year to year. Swing around. Some more volunteers that I had space for and put them in. A little tiny volunteer tomato. I have no idea what it is, but it's happy. More zucchini. There's another one on the vine that won't, and another one. I mean, yeah, they're coming along. They're huge. Oh, so yeah, let me mention vertical gardening, which I learned about many years ago. A lot of things that typically are grown, on the ground can be grown vertically, so you optimize your space. And zucchini is one of those things that can be grown vertically. Took me a while to get the hang of it, and then I learned that what you do is cut off any of the leaves that are below the flowers, and then you're just able to kind of keep it supported up, some kind of a support, but it makes it much easier to get at. I think the plant is a lot healthier, so I like that. Here are my zinnia that I grew from seed, just kind of scattered and pressed them in, and they're starting to rock and roll with some flowers. Love flowers. Here is a cucumber that I started from seed. There are a couple of varieties in here that do not need to be pollinated. Somehow they're like self-pollinating. There's a term for that and I don't remember it. But this particular one is Beet Alpha, B-E-I-T Alpha, and this one's doing beautifully. Huge leaves. I don't know what's working on the leaves. That's kind of recent. But we're starting to produce, here we go. Starting to produce some, there it is, some cucumbers. Here, yeah, this little guy. So it shouldn't be too long. Then there's another plant over here that has, a cucumber. But apparently these are like the cucumbers that you buy in the grocery store because they just uber produce. There's a, what's this called? I'll think of it. And I just spotted we have a flower. I can't think of the name of it. Anyhow, I'll think of it later. Some more volunteers that I had space for. A couple of zinnias, a couple of marigolds, a tomato plant that was like just laying on the ground earlier, but it wasn't dead, so I stuck it in here, and now it's got a couple of tomatoes. There's my herbs. Thyme, basil. Again, since it's kind of nice out here, I putz around, so I have been keeping the flowers pinched off before they start, and got a beautiful basil, beautiful parsley, and a couple of nice little lantana that are perennials. And so there's the herbs. I don't really use them, but I like having them. These are the melons, cantaloupe, doing well, but not a lot of sign of fruits yet. I'll see if I can find where they were, but here's a little tiny, that may be just a female flower, but if it gets fertilized, it'll become a cantaloupe. So they're coming along. There's another little promising to be a cantaloupe. So those are doing well. More cantaloupe, watermelon. See, these melons also are typically grown, on the ground, but you can do it vertically. Watermelons, that's producing a lot. Here's a nice one. Oh, there's a little baby. So that's what those do. 2 of these I bought at the nursery. One of them came from seed. The one from seed, I still don't really see prospects of fruit, but I'm sure it'll come along eventually. There's another little baby. Quite a few of them. And here's kind of the first one. It's been here for a while. So this is how you do vertical melons. As they get larger and heavy, you put them in some kind of support, and this is what I've done here, and then it's just tied up there to support the weight. And from what I understand, when the stem starts kind of backing off and looking like it's drying up, the melon is probably about ready. So, tomatoes, haven't even talked about them. So here's the tomatoes. They're obviously coming along well. They really kind of just started producing fruit, but a little later than I'd like to see, but I'll have tomatoes this year. And the plants are healthy. They're doing really well. With this system, I'm told that as they get really tall, you can kind of release that down and just let that stem part coil around on the ground and just support the upper part of the plant. So I'll probably be doing that soon because some of these are getting really tall. But here's the tomatoes producing this little guy. So what else? Oh, you know what? And this is a rose I bought at the grocery store that's not doing well. I decided to try to revive it out here. This is a dish of water for the bees and the birds because they have nothing. And I learned that if you put pennies in there, and they have to be pennies from 1982 or before to have the higher copper content, that with that copper in there, you will not get algae. This is, 3 or 4 days worth, not a speck of algae. Pretty amazing. So that's all there is. That's all there is. And here's the grape again, which is just going big guns, growing away. So this is the garden. This is my garden.